Cześć, MaNa.
Cześć, witam.
Okay, I'm here with MaNa HomeStory Cup VI rather. His tournament's done. We're already deep in the playoffs. So the first thing I want to know, an obvious question, is like coming into this tournament, like what were you expecting for yourself? Like what level did you feel like you were at? Like you could have seen the players who were also in the tournament. Like how good did you think your chances were to place deeply?
I wanted to go at least to the playoffs, so to the top 8. After seeing my first group, then I knew it was very easily to me to pass to the second group stage, and well, I dropped the series to TLO, but I think it was kind of predicted because TLO was winning versus me recently. Then when I saw second group stage, I was completely sure that I'm not going to pass it, and because I have 3 Zergs right there and my PvZ is horrible, and well, all of these Zergs are really strong, especially versus Protoss, so I didn't expect anything out of the second group stage, so I knew I'm going to lose in the second.
What do you think it is for you personally against Zerg that's like the problem at the moment? Is there something you've identified, like I'm not able to do this as well as other Protoss do, or they're doing something against me?
I think my biggest problem is that I don't understand when I have the huge advantage or where I have the opportunity to kill the Zerg, where I have this little timing window where I can actually finish it. Sometimes I overextend myself, maybe, and I think I don't have perfect force fields, which is very important versus Zerg, and this one little force field made me lose versus TLO in the first group stage, so I think that's what makes me just bad versus Zergs.
What did you actually think of TLO getting all the way to the... I mean, he almost made it to the round of 4 here, actually. He was like in the 5th set versus Symbol. Were you surprised that he got so far?
Yeah, actually, yeah, I was surprised. I think I was as surprised as X-Lord was that far. Although, well, TLO was practicing a lot, he didn't have any results previously, so I'm happy that he finally got this far, and well, I think I'm happy for him, that's it.
Actually, X-Lord's another good guy to talk about because he's like been the biggest surprise of this tournament by far, because for most people outside like the German scene, they didn't have any expectations for him to do anything, and he's managed to he beat Blythe in 4-0 in maps, he beat MMA, yeah. Beat Stefano, I mean, was this like a way above your own expectation level?
Yeah, definitely. I never, maybe not never, but recently when I was playing ladder versus X-Lord or in tournaments, I didn't even have a single problem with him. So him making this that far in round of 4 already, I think it's a huge surprise for the tournament. I was definitely not expecting it, and well, since we have now ZVZ versus Symbol, and TLO could get 2 maps out of Symbol pretty convincingly because I saw the games, I think X-Lord has a good chance of making it to the finals.
I know you've been casting some here, and you must have seen some of the other games. Did you see any of X-Lord's games? Like, what do you think of his style of play? Is he doing something interesting that people haven't seen? Does he have some strengths that we wouldn't have thought of?
Unfortunately, I didn't see any, I think, of X-Lord games. I just saw the results. I was casting only Protoss games, so I only saw one situation where it was this internet connection lost versus Stefano in game 2, but I think it was the right decision that they gave the win to X-Lord.
What did you actually think of the idea that someone proposed to just make it 2-0 in a best of 5? I mean, that seems like still a way of giving the guy who's got the lead like a big chance to win, but also giving like a possibility if the other person could have done a miracle comeback. Like, is it worth it, or is it just better to just like give the win to the person who was so far ahead?
I think either regame or just give the win to X-Lord would be the best chance. I don't think making it best of 5 would change that much. I mean, I think it would change too much. Because Stefano could win 3 games in a row, and then like every series before was best of 3, and it will be just the one best of 5 because of the internet connection. So I think it would just change too much.
So for the second group stage, I mean, like you were saying, it looked really bad for you on paper. I mean, I thought when I saw it that you had like the hardest group by far. Like, I mean, some of the other groups, like B and D, looked a lot less difficult than A and C to me. Do you agree with this?
Yeah, when I saw the group, I said this already, that I was completely hopeless about this group, and I think it couldn't be any harder for me. Even if it was like Stefano in my group in addition, I don't think it will be any harder for me. I prefer to play versus Stefano than versus, let's say, for example, Snoot or Symbol. I consider them harder to play against because I'm used to Stefano's style and not to theirs.
Of the games you played in that group, like, was the one that you were like, you feel like you actually were close to winning? Was the one that was like completely out of control? What do you think?
The second game versus Symbol on Daybreak, I think it was like 28 minutes or even longer, where I had, I think, approximately, I don't know, 10 carriers, something like this, against his only brutal army. And I lost this game because I was too confident to kill his army, because he had like, I don't know, 8 corruptors. And I was like, oh shit, I'm just going to crush him right now, right here. But unfortunately, it wasn't the case, because he had so many spores behind his corruptors and Brooders army. And Broodlings killed all my High Templars with full energy, so I didn't even hit the corruptors with the storms. Then my interceptors died to the spores. So that's the bad decision I was talking before, why my PvZ is so bad.
How well do you know Snoot? Like, how much have you practiced against him? Because obviously he's been one of the people who's had like just like a chart like this, like a massive peak over the last few months. And in this tournament, like as it stands right now, he's like 11-0 in maps. Like he hasn't been beaten in a map as far as I know.
So now he won versus Stefano 3-2. So he lost 2 maps. Okay. But it's still definitely a great score. I've been practicing a lot with him recently. Not really now recently, but in the past. I think we played quite a lot, I think. Now we didn't play that much, I don't know why. But we said now on HomeStory Cup that we will keep on start to practice together. I know him quite well. His style is very hard to play against. He's not the typical standard Zerg who just comes on infestors and go to Broodlers. He plays really smart. He does a lot of little things that are really cool, like spreading the creep on the third to deny Protoss third, denying the greediness of Protoss. He scouts a lot. I think he's not the type of Zerg that just is winning because of the imbalance, but he's just the smart guy, just like Stefano, I think.
Just based on what you've seen so far or any practice, do you get the sense that in like a couple of months we can literally just say like he's like this as high in terms of foreign Zergs as like Stefano, Nurcio, like the moment people would put as the absolute top? Is he like already at this level?
He's very close. He's proving a lot in this tournament. Of course, one tournament doesn't mean you're at the top level. StarCraft 2 is so random that you can win a tournament one day and on the next day you just lose in the first round of a tournament. I really hope to see Snoot doing really well in the future. I like him. He's a very nice guy. So I really hope he'll be the next Zerg that can actually compete in the highest level.
Just to give like a reference point, so I have an idea of how strong you think he is. If I asked you just like hypothetically now to guess in 1 year who will be better out of these 2 players, Vortex and Snoot, who would you pick?
That's a close call, but based on how I had tough time versus Vortex and tough time versus Snoot, I think I would say Snoot will be better.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so let's talk about the Protoss at this tournament. Obviously, like a bunch of Protoss, I think one Protoss made every single group of the second group stage from what I remember. I think so. So I think there was 4, and there was 1 in each, and then all of them went out in the group stage except Grubby. Yeah. So MC went out in his group stage, which looked like he had like a chance to get through. Baby Knight went out in the one with MMA Stefano. You were obviously in Group A, and then Group B was Grubby, I think. So, like, are you surprised that all these Protoss players went out there, or were they against stronger opponents? What do you think?
I'm not really surprised. I'm surprised that MC got knocked out, because I still consider him as a very great Protoss, although he didn't have much results recently. I'm happy that Grubby made it. He's the Protoss savior nowadays. He qualified for the IEM Katowice in Poland now as the only Protoss so far, out of 12 players, so I think that's quite an achievement. I think maybe me not making it out of the group is surprising, but the group itself was so hard for me that it was just not possible for me to pass. Maybe if I had another group, it would be like way easier to pass the group. I would love to play some Terrans.
What do you make of Baby Knight then? Because he's someone else who's had like, he had a couple of good results like a few tournaments back, but then no one really knows what to make of him. Like, were you expecting him to potentially get out of this group here? Did you not know? What do you think?
I don't know too much about Baby. I didn't see many of his games. I was watching with Snoot one of his games versus Stefano on Daybreak. I just went to grab a food, then I came back and Snoot was like completely amazed by Baby Knight's defense against Stefano. And I asked him what was the case, why were you so amazed? He said like, the SimCity of Baby Knight is so good, the perfect positioning of the force field. I'm like, okay, well, I guess he's in a very good position. And then Stefano won versus Baby Knight anyway. And then I'm like, well, what happens, Snoot? And well, he said, I guess Stefano is so good. Well, I don't have much to say about Baby Knight. I don't want to say anything bad about him or anything good because I just don't know.
Before this tournament, like from the way you're talking, like it's not necessarily a huge shock to you that like MC didn't get this so far. So did you actually think before the tournament, like it was going to be like Symbol, Marine King who would be deep in the playoffs? Or like, does it surprise you that, like for example, Marine King straight out, or is that just because he got Stefano? What do you think?
I think Marine King lost just because he got Stefano, but I think Snoot or all the other players are still able to take out Marine King. Maybe not Braddock, because I think Marine King is just stronger than Braddock. Not to take anything out of Braddock, of course he played amazing games because he got far more further than me. I think I would predict Marine King even to be in the finals. I'm surprised that MMA got out, but he played versus Stefano as well. So I guess Stefano is the Korean killer here. Who else was there? Symbol is in the playoffs, still in the game now in round of 4. I guess this is like predictable for the playoffs now, but players like X-Lord, TLO, Snoot and Brado of course were not the favorites to make it to the playoffs, but they played really well, so they deserve it for sure.
So since you're like the European master of PvT, did you see Nama versus MC?
No.
But does it shock you that Nama could beat MC?
Yeah, I guess Nama has this playstyle where I think the advantage of Nama is that I'm not sure if that's the case, but when I play versus him, I think like he doesn't know what to do, and his randomness is so surprising that you just don't know what to expect from him, and that's what makes it hard to play against Nama. But I figured out his style quite a little bit. He's very risky, and well, it's not hard for me to play versus him. I think MC knows about it, but I don't know how the games look like, but I think he won versus Nama in the second round or in the winner match.
No, I guess the first one. Yeah,
he lost the first one, but then he played again, didn't he?
Nama beat MC first,
yes,
and then MC beat Nama together.
Yeah. So I think MC got used to the Nama style. Maybe Nama prepared something for MC, and well, then MC just I think outsmarted him. I don't know. I just didn't see the games.
Did you see Grubby versus MC, the winning match here?
No, I was just on the way to the hotel where they were playing, and I think there was some kind of huge micro by Grubby, because a lot of people were telling me that Grubby made some awesome micro. I don't know what was it about.
Because I know that while we were at DreamHack, that was when Grubby had this big series against MC at the IEM Singapore.
Yes.
I'm guessing you didn't see that at all?
Yeah, I didn't know, because I was playing DreamHack there. Yeah, I didn't see anything.
But does it surprise you that Grubby can beat MC in like 2 series in a row? Is PvP still variable enough that that's a factor, or is he actually like as good as him now, you think, in PvP?
I played versus Grubby on IEM Katowice qualifiers round 1. I had kind of late game, maybe let's say middle game versus him on Anton Wale. He played very strong, and I always considered him as a strong PvP player, because in PvP micro is so important, especially in the Colossus Wars. So I'm not really surprised that he can beat MC, because I beat MC at ESWC 2011. Then I think I lost to him somewhere. I think, Assembly. I lost to him 3-0. So yeah, I'm just not surprised that Grubby won. It could go other way around.
Okay. Actually, you mentioned IEM Katowice. When they first had an IEM that had StarCraft in Kiev, like I remember the first time they had it, it was like okay reaction, like people weren't that into StarCraft back then. This was in 2010. Then they had one the next year in 2011, and like Dimaga made the final, like Kaz made 3rd place, and I remember like the crowd was going absolutely crazy if anyone Ukrainian did anything, like they were like yeah, and so those players actually seemed to like, it was like blowing their mind, like they were having a great time. Is it kind of like a bummer for you that you're going to have an IEM in Poland now and like you're not qualified for it? Yeah,
I'm not qualified for it. I will definitely go there to try open bracket. I'm super excited about this event. It's the second big event besides EBI in Poland, and I really want to esports grow in Poland, so I want to go there and enjoy the event as much as I can. And my parents even, we really want to go there, even though it's like 13 hours by car to Katowice from my town. But we're really looking forward to it, and I just can't wait for it.
How can it be 13 hours? Like, is it because, I mean, I heard from a Polish player I know that like the roads and stuff in Finland are really bad, and like in Poland rather are really bad, and so like that's why it takes so long to travel. Is this why?
I think there's like a lot of cities where you have to go like 50 kilometers per hour, because well that's the law. And well, if you see Poland, it's like I'm right here, and the Katowice is like at the very bottom of my town, so it's like it couldn't be any longer for me to travel. So I will definitely go by plane, but I think my father doesn't want to pay for plane because it will be too much. if the weather is good enough, he's okay with driving that long, just because he likes esports so much. And he was once at WCS Poland finals with me in Wrocław. It was like, I don't know, 7 hours by car. And he thought like, okay, we will go there to the state, we will watch your games, then we will go to the city, or I don't know. But they were sitting there all day, and they were amazed by the amount of people cheering for me. So they want to feel it once again. But I told them that IEM Katowice will be way bigger than WCS Poland, so they're really looking forward to it as well.
So obviously most people who've never been to Poland, they only know like Warsaw, maybe like Krakow, like a few places. So give them an idea, like how big a place is Katowice? Like what will it be like in comparison to like Warsaw, etc.? Like how would you describe it for someone who's never been?
I was never in Katowice, to be honest. It's a very big city, definitely. Compared to Warsaw, I think it's smaller, although I'm not completely sure. It has its own airport, so I think it's easy to get there. And the place will be Spodek, which is so huge, and I've never been there so far. I don't know what to say about it, although I just want to be there and feel it on my own.
So if you think of the last year, 2012, for MaNa in his career, like in 2010 you were still like a rookie breaking out.
Yep.
2011 you made some finals, like you had some good runs. In 2012 you've won some titles. Like how are you thinking back on 2012? Like how did your career change? How did like your mindset change? What was it like for you?
For the first half of 2012 I was kind of inactive because of school and the final exams, so I really started to play after so in the beginning of the June actually. So DreamHack Summer was the first offline tournament for me where I was fully focused on pro gaming, and I already won DreamHack Summer. So I think I'm looking really positive on 2012. I won 3 tournaments, 2 really big ones. It is ESWC and DreamHack. I think there were up and downs in 2012, but I was kind of consistent in 2012, I would say. Going to Korea helped me a lot in practice, although I don't feel like I really improved right now after Korea. I think it's gotten like more stable now when I'm back to Europe. I don't think I had many downs as in 2012. I'm mostly looking positively in 2012, and in the future if 2013 can be as good as 2012, then I will be really happy, but I really want to make it even better.
When you think back across the year, is there one moment that immediately like jumps out, like that was like the best moment, like maybe just a match you won or the tournament? Like is there one that's coming to mind, like that, wow, that was the peak of the year, you know?
Definitely DreamHack Summer. I just turned on to be the full-time pro gamer, so that was the best time for me to win the first big tournament. It's such a big tournament, a lot of audience. That's the biggest achievement in 2012 for me.
Did winning that tournament actually change the things after it? Like, could you still have won ESWC if you hadn't won the DreamHack Summer?
I don't know, it's hard to say. I don't really think so. Depending where I will drop out in DreamHack Summer, it's hard to predict things that didn't happen. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so do you have a final message, someone you want to say hello to?
Definitely hello to all my fans. Please keep on cheering for me, please keep on tweeting, I don't know, keep on supporting. That helps me a lot to become the better person, better player. Huge shout outs to you for the interviews. You're doing actually really good interviews.
Okay.
And big shout outs to Mouse Sports and our sponsors, our new sponsor BenQ, Guile, Razer and Tortex. So thank you for the support and fighting.
Dziękuję.
Dziękuję.